Why does it feel like finding a decent cheap used car has become nearly impossible? A few years ago, you could walk onto any little forecourt in town and there'd be a couple of tidy options to actually choose from. Then you had Autotrader, pages of cars, plenty within budget, and usually a garage nearby with something worth a look. Fast forward to now and it feels like winning the lottery just to find a proper dealer who'll sell you a budget car that isn't going to turn into a nightmare. And before we get too deep into it, let me know in the comments if cheap cars have dried up where you live. Some areas still have loads, others have nothing. And if this sounds familiar already, tap the like button so more people dealing with the same problem can actually find this video. So why have cheap cars vanished from proper dealers? In short, economics. Cheap cars used to be an easy win for small garages. They were simple to work on, parts were cheap, and you could prep one quickly without sinking a whole day into it. Customer expectations were lower too, because everyone understood what a £1,500 car really was. But the world has shifted. Everything costs more: tires, brakes, MOT repairs, fluids, labor, even the rent on the building. Dealers aren't being greedy, they're being realistic. If a cheap car needs a few jobs doing, the profit can disappear instantly. One comeback or warranty claim can wipe out the whole month. So dealers have quietly moved upmarket, focusing on cars where the margins actually make sense. That leaves the true budget stuff to be pushed out of the spotlight and out of the forecourts. When proper dealers stop stocking cheap cars, they don't vanish, they just drop into the hands of smaller traders or private sellers. And that's where the gamble really starts. Some of these sellers are decent and honest, but a lot of the cars they list haven't been looked after properly. You're relying on your own eyes and your own experience to spot the problems, because no one else has checked them. I've been caught out myself. Take my BMW, it was advertised as needing work and showing a check engine light, but the codes looked like simple emissions faults. I bought it thinking it would be an easy fix, and we all know how that turned out. The problems went deeper than any advert would ever tell you. Same with my Mini. It looked like a decent buy at first glance, but in reality it probably should have been a few £100s less. The tires weren't great, and you couldn't see the true state of the subframe rust until it was already on the drive. On top of that, there were a couple of questionable repairs that never showed up in the advert. These are the kinds of hidden flaws you only find once the car is yours, and it's exactly why buying cheap cars nowadays feels so much riskier. And if you're into real-world car advice like this, hit subscribe, it helps the channel grow and it means you won't miss the next video that could save you a load of money. So is there actually a solution to all this? Yes, but it's not about finding some secret website or magic trick. It's about changing how you approach cheap cars in today's market. The good ones are still out there, you just have to give yourself the best chance of finding them. Slow the process down. A decent cheap car doesn't come along every day, so don't feel pressured into grabbing the first thing that looks shiny in the photos. Take your time and look for owners who've genuinely cared for their cars. Proper service records, old invoices, and a story that actually makes sense. Expect flaws, that's normal at this end of the market. Just focus on the right ones. Cosmetic issues, scuffed bumpers, tired interiors, you can live with those. The real problems are the ones underneath: leaks, overheating, a rough idle, or a dodgy MOT history. Those are the things that turn a cheap car into an expensive headache. And if you're buying from a private seller, judge the person as much as the car. Someone who speaks honestly about the car, its jobs, and its history is far safer than someone who doesn't know, or doesn't want to say. You can still find good cheap cars, you just have to be a bit smarter than the market. And if you want to keep improving your chances, watch the video on screen now, it'll help you make much better decisions on your next car.